How are you?
Nicholas, happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday. Well, last week was a hell of a week in terms of like news and everything. I don't know for you, it felt like it was kind of a soft week, no? Don't you think?
Well, coming off last week, it makes complete sense. Of course, there's always something to talk about, but we are in the early to mid stages of March. The weather still crappy. We're not yet in spring. We just have to get through the next few weeks. Once spring comes, everything will pick up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's get started. All right, everybody. This is Nico with eStreamly, the company that gets you live stream and shoppable video on your site, social media, email, SMS, wherever you are. The video is shoppable. So excited to be here. Here with my great friend Matt from E6 Marketing, the company that gets you on QVC and HSN. And today, we are having some pretty interesting news. We'll be talking about three interesting topics. One is a company that you may have heard about, Shoppee. And if you don't, maybe something you want to check out. Some interesting news in the live shopping space with acquisition going on and M&A. And then obviously we will go into some interesting info on Amazon and the publisher space. But before we go there, Matt, why don't you tell us what the show is about?
Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This is called the VCommerce Podcast. What is video commerce? It's the social selling platform that started with direct response television, graduated to QVC and HSN, and now it's everywhere and anywhere on your tablet, on your phone, on your laptop, on your television through YouTube selling and all that kind of thing. So Nicholas and I work in this space. We talk about 3 or 4 of the hottest topics of the week. As Nicholas referenced and I referenced, last week was so crazy with everyone jockeying to get involved in the video commerce space with the big players like Meta and YouTube and TikTok. And this week was a little bit of a downer. I think we were jumping out of our shoes last week to kind of talk about everything going on. This week's a little bit different, but of course, I don't think there's a single week that goes by without something going on in this space. And the first topic I wanted to mention, and Nicholas, I know you know of this, is Market.live. Market.live is owned by Verb Technologies, based out of California, and they just purchased a new shopping platform called LyveCom, LYVE, and it's an AI-powered social shopping platform. So I'm very familiar with Market.live. I have a very good friend, a couple of good friends that work there, and I watched them develop this website over time. It started out as kind of a virtual mall where you could have simultaneous live shows going on at the same exact time, where you'd walk in and out of different stores and kind of pick your poison and whatever you wanted to shop on. They've narrowed their focus over the last year or so. Beauty, as we've talked about in this show, is kind of their concentration because it's so big in this live shopping space. And now with this AI-powered social shopping platform, they're looking to take another step. Now, I don't know a lot about this purchase, but the AI-powered social shopping platform, I'm curious, Nicholas, what does that mean?
Well, I think so. First of all, this is LiveCom is a shoppable video player that you have for your Shopify. So it's very popular with I would say small businesses, maybe some of the medium-sized businesses that are on Shopify and wants to sell. And guess what? If you think about Market.live, who are the customer, who are the brand that they want to work with? Well, they're probably the one that are on Shopify today anyway. So I think I see the synergy there, whereby adding that, not only they're able to get those merchants a shoppable player that they can add on their website, but also they can have some of their own audience that can participate in the shoppable live stream. So I think it's an interesting move for this company to actually buy a technology player like that. What I'm kind of curious about is, like, if you think about Market.live, you say it come from Verb, but Verb had this kind of technology per the past that they sold off, and then they purchase it now again. So I'm curious to see why. So that was like the first interrogation mark I have with myself. Obviously, Market.live or Verb is a public traded company. So I went on and checked like what the response of the market was. They had a spike beginning of the week, which I think was after the announcement. So it was before the announcement. So probably some folks that kind of knew that was happening, and then
Speculation. Yeah.
there's some speculation there. But the market did not react neither positively or negatively. The stock has been relatively flat for the last 5 days, except for that spike that was before the thing. What the story is, it's the purchase is about 3 million in cash, and then 1.1 million in repayment for a safe note. So it's an interesting acquisition. It's not a huge acquisition in terms of cost for this company. And I think it's really like thinking about the synergy of like all those merchants that are on Shopify. Maybe we can provide them with an extra way to market ourselves. Now we know that Market.live is also having some partnership with TikTok, and I think they can get you on TikTok. So it sounds like it's Market.live is really trying to become this powerhouse for live shopping, where we have our own marketplace. We can bring you to TikTok. We have this player that we can have on your website. Really trying to position, and they are production people, right? They are really at the core, and the art of what they're doing is like getting the technology, but not only that, the whole production, the element that people have struggled with. So it's a very interesting dynamic, and I think it's an interesting move. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out for them.
No, I agree, and we've talked about it on this show before. But beauty is such the category for TikTok Shop and for video streaming. So many things that that people can learn and enjoy through live stream beauty tutorials, whether it be demonstrations or illustrations on what the skincare does. It's a great category for this space. If you work in this category and are not already in video commerce, you should be considering it, because it's a great way to get in front of the customer and truly show what the product does. So I've been following Market.live pretty much since its inception. I've seen them develop and grow over time. They're also involved in kind of a Shark Tank type of show that they produce with their founder, which is, I've watched a few of those episodes.
Go fund yourself. I think it's
yeah, they're fun too. I mean, it's all about entrepreneurship and getting involved in digital and all the space.
But it does also show like what type of market they're going after, right? It's the entry startup market, the first people, and to be fair, those people, they do want to have a player on their website because they are producing their own content, but they also need audience. And I think the combination of, hey, I have my own audience that can bring on through the Market.live, and I also can bring on audience by putting you on TikTok at the right spot and making it right. I think that's an interesting play. That's certainly an interesting play.
I know. I wish them all the luck. It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, speaking of interesting play with live stream, I don't know if you know this one, Matt, but Shoppee, it's a pretty popular Asian alternative to Amazon, to say the least. And so it's a marketplace where people can obviously sell their product and everything. And they just launched, I mean, it's not that they launched, but they have been launching an interesting movement for the Ramadan Raya 2025, that they call. It's an event that was a couple days only for during Ramadan. And the idea was to empower about 900 affiliates, but more interestingly, only 30 brands that are talking about only Ramadan on a live stream. So Shoppee has been doing live streaming for years now, and they have a very, very strong and robust video commerce technology. But what is interesting with this whole story is like, going after just from a standpoint of like, well, let's do an event about, a cultural event, which is the Ramadan in this case for the market, which is a big event for the country. But, and what I found interesting with this story is really what some of the highlights that you could hear from the article. First of all, in 2024, they really pushed the affiliate market, the affiliate strategy, and they say they have seen a growth of over 81% of orders through affiliates. So very interesting. This is a very large company already. So 81% is a big number in reality. And they say today, just last year alone, purchasing through live stream, it has increased over 248%. Again, this is a video commerce first platform. So obviously, someone that say that we're looking at big numbers here. And the other thing on the other side, when the creator was interviewed and say, okay, so why affiliate has been interesting and what is dynamic, and that affiliate say, Well, it is an interesting point of entry to start with affiliate, because live stream can be overwhelming. And so you start with affiliate until you find your rhythm in the platform, and then at some point you jump the fence and you start going live stream. And so I thought it was a kind of a cool story when you think because we've been talking about it from a brand perspective all the time, right? Where, hey, you're a brand, you may want to do a live stream, or you may want to do this. You may want to work with people like you, Matt, that help you with the production and everything. But there are a crew of creator that wants to get into the live stream and they don't know where to start. And so starting from an affiliate standpoint, I create my content as maybe a short form video or something. I put affiliate on it. I see what resonates with my audience, what does not resonate with my audience. And then from that standpoint, maybe I put the leap and jumping to that. I just felt that was an interesting dynamic. And we know that happened, right? And obviously TikTok Shop is really big with affiliate, but I never really thought of it as hey, you start with affiliate from a creator standpoint, and then the best one might want to jump into live stream because that's where the bulk of the money is.
Well, and isn't that where you've kind of always preached? Like, you don't have to invest a lot of money in the beginning. You learn and develop the experience over time. So isn't everything all the technology coming from China? It seems like we're always kind of behind on this part of the world from China. This coming from Indonesia, which I honestly did not know about Shoppee before, in our pre-prod of this show, you told me about it, and I see how large it is and how much of a player it is in Asia. So I love hearing these big numbers. Like, I think it's all going to become second nature for the U.S. consumer eventually. It's just a matter of when they develop. And I will say this, like, I talked to another brand this week where they're like jumping in with both feet into the video commerce space, and they're spending a lot of money on content, a lot of money hiring their own affiliate or their own influencers, and they're taking a different approach by really jumping into the pool without a lot of experience or a lot of backstory of how to be successful.
Yeah,
like we talked last week. Like, I think it's a developing situation for everyone, including the big players, of where the audience is going to be, where she's going to shop, and how to engage her best. So I think to get involved in the video commerce, as obviously we learn from Asia all the time, to get involved in any way is a good way. We talked earlier in this show about beauty brands. I know a lot of small beauty brands that they have a very small e-com space, and let alone not even getting into video yet. I think you're selling yourself short. Get involved in some way, shape, or form, whether it be from hiring people and using affiliates or doing it yourself. And you're going to learn that this education platform is perfect for your company.
Yeah. I mean, it might not be perfect for everyone, right? So we have to be realistic on that, right? It's there are some brands that will work well, for some brands it won't work well. I constantly meet with brands that say, hey, we tried and work. I think what's important is when you try is like, what is trying, right? Is it trying as like, are you doing one show and then you spend a lot of money and say, hey, it failed, didn't work for me? Or are you looking at it from a real investment of time and everything? So I think you have to define what your strategy is and what works. And my point of view is always like, try to carve as little budget as possible, just to be consistent. And then from that standpoint, just grow from that and learn from that. But the consistency is really the element number one.
How quick? Yeah. Last week, we always talk about Temu and Shein and an inexpensive buy, and how the U.S. is kind of adopting that. But we also last week talked about the automobile industry getting involved in live commerce. So it's not always the cheap product that is the only thing that works. People are investing serious dollars in purchasing through video commerce space.
Yeah, last week I was talking with someone that was telling me that there's a huge market out there of people buying horses on live stream, which I didn't know about, right? So imagine you're in Mississippi, and there's a horse breed that is out of California that you're very excited about, and people are not always flying there, and so they will do live stream to showcase the horses. And during this, it could be an auction, or it can be like 10 people on the stream watching for that. And then someone's going to say, yeah, I want these horses. And then they sell. And I'm hearing it's a big market. It's a big, it's a lot. It's been going on for a long time, and it's working, and people are buying horses this way. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that.
Amazing. That's amazing. That's even more so than the automobile industry. That is niche content, right?
Absolutely.
Very niche content. And if they've got following and it's niche enough, you're going to attract the followers.
Yeah, I mean so I think it's like, how do you serve your audience? How do you make it exciting for them? I mean, if we think about niche audience, and something that scale, I think Fanatic Live is a demonstration of like what you can do with a niche audience and how you can scale that. Look at their live. They are very small live, 30, 40, 50 people, but they transact. And I think, again, well, we won't redo the word here, but I think, like thinking of that niche audience is kind of an interesting point. Last story. Have you seen this thing where Amazon is going after publisher, but in a different way? So I'm sure you know that Amazon has been one of the very first to launch affiliate marketing, at least in the US, where basically they give you a code, and then for every transaction that is originating from that code, you get money. And so publisher have been using that for a while. But what Amazon is doing, and thank you, Paul, from Shoppee Freak to be the first one to pop that up into our mailbox. What they have been doing now is they actually are paying publisher to have some space on their on their on their real estate where they can actually showcase product in this case. So now the control used to be where I, as a publisher, I know what product I want to promote, and then I put it there. Now it's the opposite side where Amazon is the one that's able to decide what product goes on that spot. And I'm assuming they look at it from, they probably do a lot of A/B testing and a lot of AI stuff and everything there to make sure that's the most relevant product being showcased here. But what's very interesting from that standpoint, the publisher receive like a payment, not on a cost per click or like an actual sale, but on just an impression base. So imagine you're on a website that has over 5 million visitor months or something like that. That can quickly add up. Very interesting model, and I don't know what you think, Matt, but I think what Paul was mentioning, and I could see that play, right? If Amazon start to have access to publisher real estate, and they already have a very huge retail ad network, while the next step is to be able to push content out, right? It's to be able to use those space to push more content, and now to be starting to create ads on the publisher real estate. I don't know. It become like this massive retail media play.
But Amazon dictates it, right?
Yeah.
So that is. Could you make a comparison, like being on Amazon's homepage? It would be a similar thing. Amazon, the vendors pay to be on the homepage. A premium, right? Obviously. So
yeah, but
is it going that direction?
I see what you mean. Where basically the brand will pay to be on NBC whatever page about beauty, and then like you on Unilever, you want to be there, and then you pay to be there. Yeah, I could see that happen, right? It's very interesting.
Because it makes complete sense. If you're on a page that is relative to the company that you're working for, working with, or the product that you serve, or the product you offer, to be on these specific pages, it's just like advertising. It's just like but old school television commercial, right?
They are doing that. Their company doing that already, right? If you think about like company like Cargo, they have access to thousands and thousands of publisher media out there, and then they put a beacon on the website of that merchant, and they will sell ad, and then those ads will get to publish, and the publisher gets money, and Cargo gets a small cut of that, and they are CPM based. I just found it interesting that Amazon is taking that next step of like, hey, we're going to do that technology too, so we want to be that part of our own ad network. But I don't know. I just found it it's interesting how this retail media that literally, I think a year and a half, 2 years ago, no one was talking about, now is like on fire and going everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this last week, but last week they shut down Inspire, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which was their shopping feed, their live selling TikTok-esque shopping feed. Amazon is not someone that no grass grows around that company. They're in the news every single week. They're breaking ground on all the technology, all the different ways to engage with their customers. So you always have to applaud what they do. It's amazing. So they're not afraid to take chances and try things that don't work. You see things from Amazon that blow up, and some things like Inspire that don't work. They continue to innovate. So it's a company that you have to pay attention to because they're becoming such a behemoth.
Well,
you have
becoming
to
a
learn from it
behemoth
and grow with it.
I think they're already right. A behemoth.
Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. And you have to figure out what company, right? How do we compete, or how do we get involved through the Amazon?
Yeah,
it's something you can't dismiss. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, Matt, we were saying that it's going to be a short episode, but here we go for 20 minutes already. So thanks everyone for being here. We appreciate you taking the time and showing up. Thank you for Ginger Walt for showing up and say hi today during the show. Appreciate that. We are here every Friday on LinkedIn, Facebook, and then we're reposting the content, obviously, on YouTube as well as on Spotify, Apple. So please feel free to comment, share with your friends. And then if you have an insight and you are someone that is related somehow to the video commerce space and want to show up and come with us on the show, we would love to have you. Matt, I think we have an interesting guest coming up next week with us, and there are a couple that I'm trying to line up. So we have a little bit of pop in the pod coming with us and commenting on this week's stories.
Hey, Nicholas, by the way, before we go, I want to wish you a happy anniversary.
Oh.
And it's not, I know it's probably not your wedding anniversary, but this is our 50th episode of the
there you go.
Podcast. Today's the 50th episode. So I hope we have another, I'm looking forward to the next 50. This platform is so much fun to talk on LinkedIn and on YouTube and everywhere else that we're, as you just mentioned. So video commerce, it is the way to go. You have to know about it no matter what kind of retail platform you're a part of. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Nicholas, for talking to us. And we'll see you all next week.
All right. Bye for now.